Daggers have been drawn between the government and the opposition even as the first session of the 18th Lok Sabha takes shape from the pro tem speaker earlier now to the election of the speaker. So after that war between the NDA and the Indy bloc, now we've got their loggerheads over the appointment of the speaker and the deputy speaker. Now the first time in many decades, Bharat will see election for the speaker's post. The last time this happened was during the emergency in 1976. Now, the NDA has unanimously gone there and fielded Om Birla yet again, while the Indy bloc has fielded Congress MP K. Suresh for the post. Now, Kodunil Suresh is a senior MP, but are all members of the Indy Gathbandhan there as he stood there to file his nomination in front of the Lok Sabha Secretary General? That's another question. The twists and turns of the day came after the outreach effort by the government failed. There were initial signs that the government and the opposition could reach middle ground and there would be consensus on the matter, especially with the issue of the speaker. But then a condition was put, that's what's being alleged by the government, that the opposition put a condition. First, assure us on deputy speaker, then we will give you support on speaker. And that's where it all fell through, with the government saying it cannot be conditional. You agree, right now we are talking speaker, agree, let's follow convention. There will be no conditions that will be set. But the larger question is, under this entire aspect of conditional support, has it driven this big wedge, ladies and gentlemen? And is it just a sign of things to come?
राजनाथ सिंह जी ने कल शाम कहा था कि वो खारगे जी को कॉल रिटर्न करेंगे। अभी तक राजनाथ सिंह जी ने खारगे जी का कॉल रिटर्न नहीं किया है।
सुबह भी माननीय खड़गे जी से माननीय राजनाथ सिंह जी ने चर्चा करनी चाहिए, पर वो किधर व्यस्त थे, तो उन्होंने कहा कि वेणुगोपाल जी आपको बात करेंगे।
स्पीकर का पद को लेकर के आज तक चुनाव नहीं हुआ और स्पीकर किसी एक पार्टी का नहीं होता है।
प्रधानमंत्री कहते एक चीज है, करते कुछ और। कल कहा था सहमति का, और आज जो उप अध्यक्ष का पद है वो देने के लिए तैयार नहीं।
जिस तरीके से विपक्ष की इस बार भूमिका रही है और शर्तों के साथ जिस तरीके से विपक्ष सामने आया है कि आप डिप्टी स्पीकर के पद पर सहमति कीजिए, मुझे नहीं लगता कि उचित है।
तय नहीं किया है, कोई बातचीत नहीं हुआ है, एंड अनफॉर्चुनेटली दिस हैज बीन अ यूनिलैटरल डिसीजन।
Well, even as we dive into the debate, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have meetings which are going to happen both from the NDA and within the India Alliance. Both are going to meet. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge's residence is going to be one of the points. The other point is going to be the Union Home Minister Amit Shah's residence. Both are going to strategize, formalize. How are they going to go about things the day, the big day, the Wednesday? Because at 11 a.m., that's when the elections are going to happen. Joining us, Tuhin Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP, Kamru Chaudhary, political analyst with us, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, scientist, political commentator with us, and we also have Sanjay Jha, author and political analyst. Namaste, Jai Hind to everybody. Sanjay Jha ji, let me start with you. Your thoughts here.
Anand, first and foremost, good evening. And I want to start by first telling you that you're looking very smart in that stylish jacket. I need to figure out a way to get it for myself. But, you know, your question is very fundamental. You know, what is the way out of this log jam on the speaker's post? Now, as we all know, I think everybody in the panel has been part of the political ecosystem for a long time. The speaker effectively takes a call on the conversations that happen in Parliament. There cannot be anything more sacrosanct than that, because you are not making speeches from bully pulpits. Whatever you say is recorded or heard by the entire country, and it is usually on matters of national and legislative importance. Now, if you look at the last 10 years, Anand, you know, you have had this absolutely preposterous situation where 146 MPs of the opposition were actually, you know, disbanded from Parliament. Bills passed, serious bills passed. In fact, I'm aware of how the farm bills were hustled through at a great embarrassment to Mr. Modi later on. Budgets have been cleared within minutes. And basically, you know, money bills being basically used as some kind of a artifice to pass many legislations that require debate in the Rajya Sabha. So we have seen a mockery of democracy. Now here is the bottom line, Anand.
Ji.
In a very ideal universe, that's what we should aim for. You see, Mr. Modi's government has reduced politics into some kind of a mammoth farce. But if you really were thinking about it in terms of India's democratic credentials, the speaker ideally should resign from the BJP, or if it's an India alliance, then remember tomorrow it can happen in 6 months. The speaker should resign from the principal party and become a neutral, dispassionate, and impartial person who conducts the hearings and the speeches and the conversations and the adjournments and the no confidence motions in parliament. That is the ideal situation to be in. Now look at why you currently have a gridlock. Mr. Modi's government did not even allow for a pro-term speaker, which ideally should have been the candidate, Mr. Suresh, number one. Point number two. Here is the second point. If the opposition is negotiating, if that's a term that we are all using, and saying that give us the post of the deputy speaker, which I think is the most legitimate, reasonable, and fair way to look at it. This person will only officiate when the speaker is, for whatever reason, not in the chamber. Now, here is Mr. Modi's government did not allow for a pro-term speaker, not allowing for any, shall we say, even conversation on the position of the deputy speaker. And this is a party, by the way, which is not even having its own absolute majority in the Lok Sabha, but is using the clout of the coalition. So I think the sum and substance is that we should worry if, as a democracy, Mr. Modi's party, humbled and humiliated, brought down from 400 projected number to 240, is still assuming this diabolical proportion that we will call the shots. I think the people of India have given them a message, and I'm very confident that the way they are going, they'll probably not last more than 6 months to 8 months.
Okay. Tuhin Sinha, would you want to respond?
Well, namaste.
Namaste.
Anand, I don't know why the Congress party cannot shed its entitlement. When, my friend Sanjay Jha says that the country has sent you a message by reducing it to 240, by the same logic, the country has been giving this message to Congress party since 1984. Because it was way back in 1984 when they got more than 240 seats. So I think, they should come out of this entitled mindset. Fact is that the people of this country provided a reprieve of sorts to the Congress party by giving them 98 seats. They should have behaved a little more sensibly. They should have behaved a little more responsibly rather than continuing with their obstructionist gimmicks. The point is, in the history of our parliamentary democracy, there has never been a contest for the post of speaker. And in any case, the post of the speaker is always the prerogative of the ruling party. Now, over here, I don't know why the Congress party brought a no confidence motion in 2019, 2018 and 2023 when they knew that they would be defeated. Now they want to fight for the post of speaker when again they know that the result would be a foregone conclusion. Besides, they don't seem to enjoy the support of even the TMC or Sharad Pawar. So why does the Congress, insist on this obstructionist gimmicks unless, they are suffering from a low self-esteem? Now, there are at least 8 state governments right now run by the opposition. In none of these states is the deputy speaker's position given to the BJP. So I think, at least they should shed the hypocrisy before making all kinds of allegations. I think the only reason why they want to fight for the post of speaker is that so that, they can again claim that the Modi government is unfair and again create obstructions for the remaining part of the inaugural session.
No, it could also be that they are cornering the leader opposition position firmly for the Congress within the INDI alliance. Also Kamru Chaudhary, also Kamru Chaudhary from Madhav Malvankar to Meera Kumar. Did any of these speakers resign from the Congress party? In fact, a Sardar Hukam Singh was given the deputy speaker's post so that he will eventually join the Congress party 8 months after being sworn in as deputy speaker. So that's the level to which trade-offs have been done for speaker and deputy speaker by the Congress in the past. So quite rich coming from the Congress trying to sermonize the BJP saying this and that. Never has this rule been followed about convention, etc. of giving the deputy speaker's post to the non-ruling party. The constitution does not mandate it. So why do all of this?
Yeah, actually, why do all of this? when the Prime Minister of this country says that we should rule by consensus, and that's how the democracy should function, a multi-party democracy. Here you give two hoots to the opposition and say that we don't care. Before the election also the Prime Minister said, Rahul, कौन राहुल? और शपथ लेने का टाइम में हमने देखा किस तरह से उन्होंने नमस्कार किया, नमन किया. That's the beauty of the democracy. The people have taught the arrogant Bharatiya Janata Party a big lesson in this election. Lekin one thing Anand, you must remember, we as congressmen, we will not go down without a fight. Come what may, there are no kid gloves in this 18th Lok Sabha. You can write it, we can count it, we can debate, thousands of debates with you every evening.
Ji.
But each and every day will be fought. We are a strength in greater numbers than the 17th Lok Sabha. When the question of the pro tem speaker was coming in, what the government needed to do was just a consensus, because the pro tem speaker has got as such, as per constitution, no obligations in running the Lok Sabha except for administrating the oath of office to the new members in the parliament. The arrogance of the Narendra Modi government was clear in the eyes of the nation. If we had not projected this as a...
May I intervene? With your kind permission? Okay.
Let me finish.
Haji.
Just 10 more
Please,
seconds
please,
I will
please,
take
please,
out here.
please.
Now, lot of opposition of my dear friends will try to digress the entire debate to the states that are near Mamata Banerjee's government or the DMK. They will cite the example. But I will not digress the entire debate to the states, because it's the Lok Sabha, the largest democracy in the world, where a consensus should have been a trendsetter.
I'm going to stay with Lok Sabha only, sir. I'm going to stay with. I'm going to
No,
stay.
we whole day
I'm
we have
going
been
to
listening to this.
Sir, I'm going to stay with the Lok Sabha only, sir. Please, let me ask you. You don't have the numbers, yet you want to obstruct. And it's the government that is arrogant. You don't have a consensus, yet you want to push your candidate. And it's the government that is arrogant. You know that there is no rule like this. You also know there is no convention like this. Yet you want to insist. And it's the government that is arrogant. You know the issue is about the speaker. And you are putting the condition कि पहले deputy speaker decide करो फिर speaker पे बात करेंगे. Yet it's the government that is arrogant. This is
Anand,
classic
the basic-
Gobel, sir.
No, the entire debate is not so easy that you are thinking out here.
Sir,
The
it
government
is.
thinks
It
my
can be
way or
as
the
simple
highway.
as you want to make it, or it can be as
The government
complicated as you
wants-
want to make it.
Anand,
Please
what is
tell-
the government's attitude out here? Is my way
What,
or
what
the
was
highway.
what was the
We
attitude?
do not want to take the opposition along.
What
So
was
it
the
will be
attitude?
always-
What was the
What was the
attitude?
attitude?
What was the
We
attitude?
suggested the senior most member be elected as the pro tem speaker, you refused. We asked for a deputy speaker's post, you refused, citing that there is no convention, there is no rule.
Correct.
Fine, we are not afraid of that.
No, but it's not being afraid,
remember,
sir.
Anand,
But
let
Kamru
me,
Chaudhary
through your
ji,
channel,
the-
tell the entire
who
country,
has-
the
sir-
opposition or the Congress party will
Sir,
not go down without a fight.
It's not
We are
about
ready
bowing
to
down. You don't
expose
even have the
government.
numbers, sir. You need to
We
have a
don't have the
certain
numbers.
semblance
We
of
brought
numbers.
it
Sir, it is
Sunil
trying to say,
Sinha, just
sir.
10 more seconds, sir. 10 more
Sir,
seconds.
I'll
Sunil
tell you
Sinha
one thing,
told
sir.
last year they brought in the no
I'm drawing
confidence motion.
before I go to Dr. Ranganathan, I'm drawing a film analogy. Amar Akbar Anthony, Amitabh Bachchan sitting inside jail looking at Amar. He plays the character of Anthony Amitabh Bachchan, and Vinod Khanna is the police officer, and he says, तुम अपन को बहुत मारा, अपन तुमको एक पंच मारा पर सॉलिड मारा. बट वो एक पंच मारने के लिए हाथ पहुंचना चाहिए सर. यहाँ हाथ भी नहीं पहुंच रहा, आप बोल रहे हो हम पंच मारेंगे. Are you going to punch in the air? What's the point of doing this? Had there been a consensus, Dr. Ranganathan, on the speaker, there could have been a deputy speaker from a non-ruling party. But doing this by being standoffish in a speaker case, has the opposition also now written off the possibility of a deputy speaker which has remained vacant since the 23rd of June 2019. So in the case of the deputy speaker, even the government doesn't color itself in glory. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
No doubt about it. Good evening, Anand, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Look, let's be very clear. The Congress is behaving like a playground bully. But this was to be expected, given that they have an arrested adolescent at the helm of the affairs and dynasty doormats as male au pairs to rock his cradle. The entire speaker imbroglio, Anand, is ridiculous and a deliberate and juvenile attempt by the Congress to not allow proper functioning of the parliament even for a day. Because of their juvenile antics, we are now going to have an election for a speaker for the very first time ever since independence. Take it from me. The Congress is not going to agree with Modi on even a single thing. Defense, foreign policy, internal issues, you name it. There will be no consensus on anything. Take the speaker issue. Why does the Congress demand the post of deputy speaker? In the states that it is currently ruling, both the speaker and the deputy speaker posts are held by leaders belonging to the ruling Congress. For example, in Congress ruled Himachal, Kuldeep Singh Pathania is the speaker and Vinay Kumar is the deputy speaker. Both are Congress leaders. In Congress ruled Karnataka, Khader Farid is the speaker and R.M. Lamani is the deputy speaker. Both are Congress leaders. And what is this childish act of brandishing the constitution book? Who are you trying to fool? Look, no one has damaged our institutions and our constitution more than the Congress. Let us begin from his great grandfather who dismissed duly elected state governments and will, arrested poets, jailed editors, banned books, censored films, outlawed even the humble harmonium for crying out loud. To his grandmother who amended the constitution at will and proclaimed the emergency whose anniversary it is today. To his father who deployed commandos to raid newspaper offices throughout Rushdie's satanic verses. And finally, to his mother under whose remote control ran a government that charged cartoonists with sedition. 8,000 activists, Anand, were charged with sedition in a single day under the UPA. And Home Minister Chidambaram called them anti-nationals. There exist as many as 295 documented instances of brutal trampling of democracy and freedom of expression under the Congress. 87 of those occurred in the last 15 years when Rahul was powerful enough to have stopped these violations. The Congress government in Chhattisgarh arrested a man for complaining against power cuts and charged him with sedition. People might not know, Anand, just 1 minute, the damage the Congress did to other institutions. Let me take just 2 examples here. Did you know the Congress blocked the appointment of judges to the Supreme Court if they were in any way associated with the ideology of the RSS, or even so much as attended the funeral of an RSS person as Justice Chandurkar did of Gowarkar? This is from the book Supreme Vistas by Chandrachud. Let me not even go into how many Supreme Court verdicts did the Congress overturn. The Shah Bano verdict, bank nationalization verdict, Privy Purse verdict. Now to the election committee, 30 seconds. Congress acolyte and Sanjay Gandhi's man Friday Naveen Chawla played a ruthless pass during the emergency, letting loose a reign of terror. In fact, he was indicted by the Shah Commission for his crimes. But what happened as soon as the Congress came to power? He became the chief election commissioner. Just 30 seconds. And Rahul brandishes the constitution even as Modi has never unilaterally overturned the SC verdict like Rajiv. Never abused Article 356 like Indira. Never passed a press objectionable act like Nehru. Honestly, breathing sense into some of these Congresses is as giving up like giving CPR to a dodo.
Okay, both the Congresses want to respond. Tohin Sinha wants to respond. Sanjay Jha.
Anand, let me tell you that Shankar Mahadevan provides great entertainment with his breathless singing
I
on
was
stage.
telling that only.
But you know, when somebody tries to do the clownish act on a national discourse on a serious television
personal,
channel,
Sanjay.
I think
You will
can I
remain
speak without an
suspended
interruption?
forever.
Can I speak?
You are
Why
not
is this
Okay,
Don't
let's
get
not
so
speak
personal.
over each other.
Yeah.
I have only one
Why
request.
did I name
Please,
you?
please,
Yeah.
please.
Anand, I did
You
not
both
get personal.
see there are
Yeah.
there are
I
three
didn't get
people.
personal.
There are 3 people.
So
I'm
I'm
not.
not
Okay,
gonna
okay.
hold
Yeah,
back
true.
if he gets personal.
Okay, yeah, just 10
I never
seconds.
got- I
Just
didn't
10
even-
seconds.
name
10 seconds, gentlemen. I do not know about Kamru Chaudhary, but the other 3 I am aware of. All of you have got published works. You're all supposed to be in the literary field. So we can all be judicious in our choice of words and also august in our addressing the issue. So
Sure.
please take jibes, but let's not get personal. Yes, Sanjay,
Yeah,
continue.
yeah. Anand, my friend Kamru, by the way, is one of the most intellectually solid people. I don't know about whether he has a published work.
That's
but
what
have
I
the
said.
highest
I'm not
respect
questioning
for him.
anybody's
Yeah,
intellectual
yeah,
prowess. I
yeah.
just said published work.
Yeah,
3 of
yeah.
them I'm aware. Kamru
Yeah.
Chaudhary I'm not.
Yeah.
No disrespect here.
Yeah.
Please go ahead. Yes.
And I don't know why people took offense unless they have a serious guilty conscience, because there are supposedly gentlemen who use words like dodo, and that is kosher. But when they are called out,
But he didn't call you.
absolutely
He
farcical
didn't call you a dodo. I'm just
who's
saying,
he?
please
I
don't
didn't-
call
I didn't
anybody
mention
personally a dodo. Personally, don't
I
call
did
them.
not
You can.
anybody, Anand.
What I'm saying, please, you are all aware of your own literary prowess and your own sensibilities. So I leave it to your intelligence. Let's take the debate.
All
forward.
right.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Anand, let me, you and I, have had many conversations, and I need to congratulate you right now for your very sober and intelligent intervention. Let me make my point very quickly.
Ji.
You are dealing with a government that is authoritarian and a democratically elected dictatorship. They had a leopard never changes its spots. Mr. Modi, I have told many people in the opposition, is a bruised and wounded animal. He is now actually feeling so mortified after the public verdict that he's going to snap, bite, and hit at anybody because his big fat ego is hurt. And which is why this government will now go after anybody who is going to be questioning them in terms of a democratic, inquiry. And you have a situation today where some people are already being charged with UAPA. Don't be surprised if tomorrow they will put a businessman in jail, because these people do not know anything other than two things: create fear by actually using state power to intimidate and threaten people. They don't mind being called a washing machine as long as they can subjugate the opposition. Secondly, divide and rule. See, fear and division, or fear and hate, are the two principal legacies over the last 10 years of Mr. Modi's government, which is why the opposition is fighting tooth and nail for the speaker's or the deputy speaker's post, because they believe that this is the time to capture the national imagination on issues that sometimes don't become a headline.
Sir,
and I think it is important to recognize that.
May I please now intervene? Sir, what happens is, sir, when you make these arguments, history is has a litany of events and litany of instances, sir, when the Congress itself does not color itself in glory with respect to all all that you are alleging. I'm just saying, all of us. I'm going to Tuhin Sinha now. I'm going to go to Tuhin Sinha now. Dr. Ranganathan, please hold your horses. Sure. I'm just saying, Feroz Gandhi, part of the Nehru family, he started a movement for media freedom, which Nehru himself did not like. This is also chronicled in the annals of our history, of our political history. And that's why when the Congress talks about fear, fear-mongering, dictatorship, Tanashahi, etc., Shyama Prasad Mukherjee himself, when he wanted to bring in this amendment to the freedom of speech, called Nehru as nothing but akin to Hitler. So it just looks like all that Mr. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru had been called by the opposition and also Congress leaders of the day. Mr. Rahul Gandhi is just picking those words and hurling it back at the government of today. And that's where I keep saying, I'm not taking anybody's side here, but I'm just saying this is how it is. This is how political parties who are trying to be holier than thou today, holding the constitution today, Tuhin Sinha, they themselves amended the constitution 98 times, amended, altered, changed. I'm using all these three words with different intentions. 98 times before 2014. Yes, Tuhin Sinha.
The Congress party is a compulsive and obsessive offender when it comes to disregarding the constitution.
So what is the BJP then, sir? Is the BJP an upholder of the constitution, sir?
Absolutely.
If that's the case, then why is the post of the deputy speaker vacant since the 23rd of June 2019, when Article 90 of the constitution itself mandates that if the post is vacant, immediately an election will be conducted and it should be filled again. It should not remain vacant. Please continue.
You can raise these issues separately, but over here, the very fact that they are putting up a contest for the first...
Answer the question.
Okay, wait, please don't. I'll push it. Allow me, Sanjay ji, please.
If there is a procedural lapse, you never answer the questions why the deputy speaker's post is vacant in Telangana. There could be a procedural lapse. So I think when Anand asks that question, it would be better if we also have a detailed, we can surely have a detailed discussion on that once the facts are clear. The point is, even, the very fact that the Congress has decided to contest for the post of Lok Sabha Speaker in the last 75 years, that has never happened. That itself shows their disregard for the spirit of the Constitution. What is this, for the sake of consensus, allow us this, for the sake of consensus, allow us that. It is very clear that the pro tem speaker is the person who has the maximum number of Lok Sabha terms consecutively. So therefore, in 2014, in the 16th Lok Sabha, Kamal Nath was given that privilege as against L.K. Advani, who, if you had taken non-consecutive terms, was senior to him. The way they have been waxing eloquent on consensus, I'm afraid tomorrow they might suddenly say, give us the Prime Minister's post for 1 month, for 6 months. I think the Congress needs to talk logic.
That will be good
And
for the
sadly,
country.
For the first time, in the world, you would probably witness a dictator who has been called so for the last 20 years, and yet all those people who have abused him go unpunished. These people abuse even his family members. There are time and again Congress has, unleashed its abuse upon his family members, yet those people go unpunished. So this is a bizarre situation.
No, it's a bizarre situation, but the fact is right now, I'm only throwing one question up in the air, that has the opposition now kissed even a chance, any chance that remained of the deputy speaker coming the non-ruling party way, goodbye.
Yeah.
Kamru Chaudhary and then Dr. Ranganathan, and there's another quick, we'll just do a quick departure from the current debate to another important instance or incident that happened in the parliament earlier in the day. But yes, Kamru Chaudhary.
Yeah, basically.
Anand, I need to leave at
Anand,
8:30.
Jay, yes, please. Yeah, in the next
Yeah.
5-7 minutes, we'll deal with it.
Yeah,
I
Anand,
request you stay on
basically
just
you
for the
must-
5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, Anand, basically you must understand what's happened in the 17th Lok Sabha under Om Birla. We demanded that there should be discussions on the Hindenburg issue. We wanted the discussion to be held on the Manipur issue. We wanted discussion to be held on the CA issue, on the farmers' agitation, on a lot number of issues. But the arrogance of the government and the role of the speaker, who is supposed to be above partisan line, refused any such discussion, prompting the entire opposition to bring in the no confidence motion, to bring before the country what the opposition thinks about. So this 18th Lok Sabha, by bringing in Om Birla, once again, I am not anything with him personally, but he represents the other side of the governance, that Narendra Modi ji or Tuhin Sinha here is sitting and espousing out here at the fairness of the Narendra Modi government. But we are trying to expose the hollowness of this government in bulldozing the opposition, in trying to weigh.
No, I'll tell you what, Kamru Chaudhary.
point is that-
The Congress party, whenever it has had the numbers, or even if it has not had the numbers, has bulldozed the opposition or any voice that
But
has
we
spoken
lost
against.
elections.
No.
We lost
Whenever,
elections.
sir, I'm
You are a party with a difference. You, BJP, are a party with a difference.
No, sir.
You're
Sir.
supposed
I'll tell you, sir. I
President.
personally, sir,
We
have
lost
been.
election
1 minute,
after
sir.
the emergency.
1 minute,
We
sir.
lost elections.
No, one minute, sir. 1 minute, sir. I'll tell you one thing, sir. The Congress party does not color itself in glory when it comes to actually walking the talk on democracy, on the right to freedom of speech, and to have a differing opinion.
That's your perception.
No political party colors itself in
That's your
glory at all.
perception.
No, sir, it's not perception.
It's
I
your
personally have been
perception.
have been
Because-
facing it for the last 8 years, and I'm speaking from
Yes.
personal experience. So let's not
That
try
cannot be
let's
I
not
can
try
cite
and
you
wax
100
eloquent, sir.
examples of Umar
The
Khan
conduct
being
of the
in jail,
Congress party,
or
the
Sanjeev
Congress of the
Batra
party
in
in power
jail.
in parliament has been based on the
Chief
strength of the
Minister
numbers
from
that they have
behind
had.
bars.
Whenever they have not had the numbers, their arrogance or their might or their tactic of trying to be overbearing, overpowering has been curtailed. But they have continued to do so. Here I am saying you don't even have